Hey everybody, hope you're having a good week so far. Well, I'm not going to waste time here on fluff. I'm just going to go right into it. I believe inflation is here to stay, all right, not transitory, like they keep saying. The question is, what do we do about that? How do we adapt? But one thing is for sure, there's two things for sure, is that there's a lot changing in our world. There's so much going on every day. There's so much changing, and it's changing fast. Okay. One thing that's not changing so much is this inflation. It is continuing. It is a constant, and it just keeps going up. You're probably seeing it too. If you're going out, if you're having to go to the stores and get stuff, if you're ordering online, looking for an automobile, heaven forbid you're looking for a house or property, you know then for sure. But anything from lumber to rice to an automobile, you know, the computer chip shortage for automobiles is that's not going away. That's going into, from what we're reading, well into 2023. Okay, so in case you hadn't heard that. So, like I said, so much is changing. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of uncertainty about a lot of things right now. You feel it. We got a pandemic that's roaring back. Maybe it just never went away. Who knows? I mean, everybody has their ideas about that, but nevertheless, roaring back. You got an economy on the ropes. You have governments that are just unstable, plus power mad hungry. All right. And that seems global too. Crime waves, and I'm speaking to the US on this part, United States, crime waves going nuts. So, okay. Uh, I mean, you don't have to look far in the news to see the chaos and craziness that's happening, especially in the cities, but everywhere. Weather, strange weather, supply chains still jacked up, still strained out there. So there's just a lot of instability going on. And like I said, it is global. Almost seems coordinated in a way. Share your thoughts. Am I crazy on that? But anyway, back to inflation. It's here to stay. It's an upward trend. Everything, like I said, everything from any kind of product to goods and services as well. I ran across this article. It's kind of interesting. Uh, it was talking about some financial advisors, their take on the continuing inflation. And this was out of Yahoo. I'll put the link down in the description so you can see it as well. But let's read a couple of things from it. It says, inflation is here to stay. Financial advisors weigh in. Upward movement we're seeing in prices is not transitory, and big tech will suffer from it, says one financial advisor. Now, this is a guy, Chris Payne from Payne Capital and Management. They interviewed him. He says, even if you're going out to the grocery store, things are just more expensive. So not only do I think inflation is not transitory, I think it's here to stay. I agree. And I really think it will impact different markets, he added. Technology is the sector which could be impacted the most. I thought that was interesting. I think big tech is going to face the biggest headwind when it comes to inflation, he said. Payne's comments are in stark contrast to Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's repeated comments that inflation is transitory. That word again. Inflation screams transitory. Economists like Stephanie Roth of JP Morgan agree with the Fed. Now, she agrees with the Fed. Inflation screams transitory when you look at the data, Roth said. I don't know what data she's looking at. I don't know what these people are smoking, but the data that I see is my grocery store receipts. When I compare them from just a couple of months ago, the data says that it's not transitory. Compare it from 2 months ago, compare a receipt from 6 months ago, even a year. That's even scarier. Compare it with what it's going to look like next week. It's going to go up. That's not temporary. This is not a temporary thing. I agree with the first analyst. like I said, I don't know what world some of these people are in, if it's just straight out lying or they're just not in reality or what. But, you know, maybe this lady doesn't have to go to the store, so she's not seeing it. Good for her. But so, how do we adapt? What do we do? There's a lot of different ideas on that. Share your thoughts too, because I'm sure I may not mention, I'm probably not going to mention some things that you're thinking about or that you're doing. What are you doing to adapt, to hedge this? We talked about some of these before, but I'm thinking I'm adding some things here that I haven't talked about before. So, and I'm going to talk about a few things that we're doing in this house. So we're trying to pay down as much debt as possible. We use the stimulus stuff to just pay down some credit card debt that we had and put it towards car payment and the house payment. So as much as you can, if you pay down that debt, the better off you can be. Improve your credit as well. Of course, keep topping off your provisions, your preps as well. You can continue to do that. Like I said before, each time you go, pick up an extra two of items. That way, you're not hoarding and you're not, doing any harm. So picking up extra stuff as you go. Grow. I mentioned this before, of course, but grow as much food as you possibly can. I know as you're able. Some folks can't so much, depending on your living situation. Everybody's situation is different, but our garden is really, it's not that big of a garden, but it's really fed us a lot this summer so far. I mean, we've really had a good harvest on the vegetables, especially green beans out our ears. Green beans, tomato, squash, yellow squash, zucchini, peppers, some okra as well. We're saving a lot of it. So we gave some away, but we're freezing a lot of it as well. And I know some of you'll say, "I don't. Your freezer is going to go out if the power goes out." Well, if you have a small generator, that is enough to keep an appliance like a freezer and a refrigerator going in a lights out situation. You can alternate between. If you have a small generator, you can alternate between keeping that freezer and that refrigerator powered. Okay. So, but anyway, our garden has, I would estimate at least half of each meal is from our garden here lately, especially. So grow as much as you can. We're also planning to double the size of that garden for next spring. And in between that, we're planning on doing some winter things, some berries. We're going to do blueberries on one side. We got plenty of room for it. And potatoes as well. So other things, medical procedures, if you've got to go to the dentist, if you got a dentist appointment, keep it going. Any procedures you have planned already, try to get it done right now before we go into any more lockdowns. If they start doing restrictions here, got to think about that as well, plus the inflation. Clothes, shoes, your defensive tools, of course, if you need to get a little bit more on that. Like I mentioned, the surplus from a garden, we're trying to freeze it if you can things. That's great too. So stock up on other things, vitamins, your vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc. We got to take care of our bodies. Our bodies are fearfully and wonderfully made. We have to take care of them. Your elderberry, turmeric, oregano, pure honey, just eating healthy. That's some of the things that we do. We stock up on all that stuff here as well. I know some people talk about precious metals. I'm not an expert in that. I know a lot of people talk about silver. It seems like a safe thing right now to invest in that. But most of all, I would say invest in yourself. Anything, if you're investing in something that has a return that keeps its value, okay? Like a lot of people say silver, but that can be things. That can be investing in your home, your vehicle, keeping the maintenance up on that, and keeping it in good working order, right? So just simple things like that as well. Just think about it. Share what you do and some other ideas out there. I'd really appreciate it. Love the comments. But that's all I have, I guess, on this one right now. I don't want to go too long. But for now, finish out your week well. Be safe. Be aware. Pray up, of course. And God bless you. I'll see you soon.